April 29, 2026. This is the S&P 500 E-Futures Mini on a 2000 tick chart using NinjaTrader 8. This is what the chart looked like today. The only economic data today that was going to come out was the FOMC rate decision, which is about right here. Comes out at around 11 o'clock Pacific Standard. Then Jerome Powell comes out and gives color commentary around 11:30 Pacific Standard. So this is kind of like an area where things could get really slow and then crazy volatile. But considering what I've seen from other FOMC rate decisions, this is kind of a very quiet, more sedated response, even with Jerome Powell's commentary. And as expected, they're not going to do anything with the rates, at least not for now. And then they look like it was two big measured legs down, one leg down, a push up, and then a second really multi-choppy leg all the way down. It almost made a measured move, then reversed up, pulled back sideways, and then pushed up. And then this crazy movement in the after hours, this gray area, this is because there's several big companies reporting earnings. It was Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, Google, pretty much the majority of the Magnificent Seven, like the big guys, as well as some other small companies. But this is, I think, what was causing the big movement. I don't remember if I mentioned Google, but it was like these big moves here. So yeah, it's just kind of crazy because whatever happened today, it's pretty much all captured in the after hours in pretty much 1 hour. It dropped like crazy. So I did take one trade. It's actually two trades, and there was a weird snag that happened with my trade copier. So I decided, okay, well, I was green, but I didn't want to. It's green on one account. I was trying to trade copy a couple of accounts, and something messed up. So I'll get to it when I get there. And then other than that, I just kind of decided to take it easy, just watch the charts. But then I wasn't feeling on top of it, especially after that mistake that happened. So I decided, okay, I've just got to be really careful. So in the pre-market, prices are just kind of choppy. It looks like it's one leg up, pull back, another leg up, kind of creating a double top here, then flushes back down. It's just really pricey drop back. Price action that's really choppy right here. So it's pushing down on the open. I don't really see any setups. It looks like it's moving down this orange down channel, break, makes one attempt at the low, and it comes back up, tries to make a second attempt. So I'm thinking this orange down channel might want to test the low. So it's first attempt, pull back, second attempt. I had this as a possible trend line resistance. It's evolved since where it is now because initially I had it really tight here. Then this looks like it broke out of here. So I tried to make it a bigger channel. Ended up having it touch here. And I thought it's set up for a possible trade here because I call it a lower high. So it's a new low here. First entry short pullback, second entry short pullback. EMA is starting to act as a resistance. It is flattening, but I like that it's a lower high, decent push down. It's only a 10 tick risk. And I was thinking the bias is still probably going to push back down. It's two legs up. Whether it's going to make another big leg like this, I was just thinking more likely it just wants to test the low. It's having trouble breaking successfully through the EMA. And this is potentially a resistance of a possible channel that's going to show up. But as you can see, the low side really only confirms one spot, so I never colored it in. Price has never continued down this channel. So I thought it's a possible trade here. So it pushes back down. Looks like it's moving down this smaller orange down channel. Breakout, first entry short, pullback, second entry short, creates a second entry short failure because this is setting up. I like that it moved one tick below, reverses back up and closes at the high. The problem is it looked like it was already two legs up right here. One leg up, pullback, second leg up. So to ask it to move again upwards when in real time it looks like it's still kind of bearish made me a little bit cautious. So I call it an almost trade. It pushes up, makes a new high, say first entry long, pullback, second entry long. This is actually what I wanted to take my first trade and I did. And this is where the goof up happened. So I did have this trend line drawn up as a trend line support and I turned it into a channel, but it wasn't colored in just yet because I could trust the low side, but I can't really trust the high side to trust that it's within the channel. But it looks like it was two legs down. It broke below the EMA, but here's the thing. I like that this trigger bar closed and engulfed this guy. So I actually got my order ready. It pushes up, fills my order, chops around, and when it fills here, I get my uh, 6 ticks. I noticed that only one of my accounts got to trade. And I thought there was something fishy with my trade copier because it should have pulled all the accounts in and trade, but it didn't. So what happened was I quickly clicked it again. It entered here and I noticed it still didn't copy all my accounts. So I thought, okay, there's something wrong. Before I just, give back profits, I quickly just exited. So this is only a 3 tick trade, which never intended to happen. I should have not done that, but it was kind of a response of how come only one account was traded and not the other two. And before I fully investigated, I just clicked the buy. As you can see, it's just kind of out here in the middle of nowhere. Realized I shouldn't do that, especially when it was just the same account and the other accounts never followed. Then I just quickly exited. So there was this right here is a mistake that shouldn't have happened, and this is the actual trade that I wanted. But unfortunately, it didn't execute properly on my setup. So knowing that, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm green at least on one account for the day. Don't be stupid. Kind of step back. Today's going to be a volatile day anyways. So live to fight another day. I squeaked by with a potential bad mistake here. That's kind of decided, okay, well, this week just this week is only the last 2 days have been really slow. Don't do anything foolish. So I kind of really took my foot off the pedal and just decided to watch the market. So then prices move up on this yellow up channel. It doesn't really give you any second entries up here all the way up. When it failed to reach this side, I was thinking maybe this is treated as a early fail breakout, but I decided to just kind of keep it up here, let it not reach the top. As it bounced here, I was thinking it might actually push up to the high side, but it never does. You have a localized high, first entry long pullback, second entry long. This is a second entry long. It is bouncing off the support side. The thing I didn't like in real time was if it hit this high side and it's coming back down, then I have more confidence it's going to push up. The other problem was, even though it has a key entry point of this yellow up channel support and potential EMA, the 3 previous candles are just about the same size, kind of copying sideways right here. So it just made me a little more cautious because I'm thinking this could be more like a visual first entry long instead of first entry long, second entry long. Be a visual first entry, could fail and then come back up again. So I want to see that play out. It gave me that little thought because it failed to kind of confirm this high side. So it breaks out and it starts pushing down and through. So it starts moving down. I try to find a channel that fit and I ended up with this purple one, but I wasn't the most happy with it because it has this big overshoot excursion down here and then it starts reversing back up. So by the time it gets to these candles, I'm not really sure this purple down channel is going to be valid as a resistance here or some kind of support. So I'm just sitting here watching this try to play out. Like this is what I was thinking in real time by the time this candle forms. So I'm just thinking, okay, there's nothing clean. Just wait. Pushes up. Now it looks like it's moving like a spike in a shallow orange channel up. But the channel doesn't last very long. It starts breaking down. It starts moving sideways. That's when I established the range here, thinking, okay, at least it might be bouncing within this range. It looks like there's one leg down, pullback, a second leg. I'm expecting a touchdown here, and then ideally a move back into this range if this range is truly valid. And so you do get that because it's like a one leg down, pullback, second leg down. It is a first entry, second entry long, failed breakout. I thought there was a possible trade here. Now, knowing this weird thing that happened earlier, I wanted an even better setup, but I thought, all things considered, on another day where I might have better clarity, I probably would have tried to take this trade. I think I would have tried to enter one tick above this guy. And as you can see, if I did, I likely would have gotten filled, and then my stop would have been below this double bottom. And I think I would have just survived. So that would have been I would have taken heat for sure. So it pushes up, then flushes back down. Go ahead and move forward. Looks like it's 2 legs down, one leg sideways and the second leg. No setups here. Localized low. Technically, you have a new low here. First entry short. It's double bottom, so I reset the count. First entry short. Technically, a second entry short failure, but neither the short looks appealing because I'm not thinking short here. Then it does give you the second entry short and the second entry short failure here. But I want a higher low to really confirm the prices are going to continue moving back up. You get a higher low here, but I might have been overthinking it, but I was thinking, is there some kind of resistance here that I should be concerned about? If this red candle had at least spiked up a little bit higher to give me a little more room to look for that trade, then I think this might have been a possible trade, but ends up being, in my opinion, really nothing here for me. Pushes the high side, makes a localized high, first entry long pullback, second entry long failure. I just really wanted this signal bar to close lower right here without this big wick here, because what it's telling me is before the close, buyers were able to take it from the bottom, buy it all the way back up pretty close to the halfway point. So that leaves me concerned. Of course, I don't know that this candle is going to show up. So it's something I noticed, marked it with an arrow, but no trade. Pushes down on this orange down channel, creates looks like a visual first entry short, second entry short, but it never broke below. So by the technical count, it is a first entry here, but a second entry, and it doesn't look very clean, very much like anything there. It looks like it's one leg down, pull back, second leg. You do technically have a first entry long, second entry long. This is nice after the fact though, but in real time, it was hard to trust this because unless you took it on the engulfing, but even then the engulfing feels risky because if this had been a green bar and then this pushed down and rallied really strongly, that would have been a potential setup, but this is bouncing off kind of in the middle of nowhere. So seeing this after the fact doesn't really help, but at least, it looked like it was pretty clean. And then you get a potential higher low here. Technically, your higher low is here, but it doesn't look very good. And the higher low here also doesn't look that great because it's a red candle. And it pushes up and it goes into the 10:30 time frame, 30 minutes before 11 o'clock, which is the FOMC rate decision, which everybody was thinking it was going to be nothing or no change, and which was. But usually during that time, just happened to be today that prices printed really slowly. But in other times, it has been more sideways and also more candles. And I don't want to be stuck in that chop only to have this crazy, well, crazy is a relative term because today was rather is more like a smaller reaction than what I've seen before because it moved pretty much from 761 down to about, let's just say 740. So it's a 20-point move, which in itself is quite big, but I've seen other FOMC rate decisions where that 20-point move happens in one or two candles. So today, I think it was just everybody already knew this is pretty much going to be the status quo, but I certainly didn't want to be in a trade or look for a trade in this area. So around 715, it's kind of like where I marked it off and I start looking where it might be safe to trade again. So localized low, first entry short, pull back. We have a second entry short inside bar. But then I'm also aware that Fed Chair Powell comes out and starts adding color commentary around 11:30 and he answers questions. And I've seen in the past his responses have moved the markets in volatile ways. So I was also very careful of that. So I was just watching. It creates a localized high. Say first entry long comes back up. Looks like it's two legs up now. First entry long pullback. Second entry long is a terrible signal bar. It's bouncing off this low of day. Nothing here. Pushes up. You could argue this is a higher low, but the higher low looks like it might be entering in some kind of support region. Whether this going forward was going to be like a range, because this is what you see in real time, I'm not sure. You don't know that's going to break out this like this. And it creates this localized high. First entry long pullback, second entry long. I mark this. I really wish that this candle had ticked one tick below here and closed better. And if it did, I think it would have been a possible trade. But as you can see, it's actually inside to this. And by the time it moves up here, that's why I established that this might be in a channel, but it doesn't really look like a clean channel, so it never was colored in. It looked more like a push up, break, test the high, maybe two legs down, then another leg up. So it looked like it was actually maybe two kind of bigger legs, one here, and then one here. But it never really sets up for any nice trade for me. Creates a localized high, first entry long pullback, second entry long is far from the EMA, no real setup here. Then it pushes back down, looks like another trend that's starting, break, and it pushes up. And that kind of is moving into the close, but even as it's moving into the close, price action is slowing down. So it's a really, I mean, you get more stuff happening today, but it wasn't really a spectacular volatile day today, considering what other FOMC rate decision days have done. So it was all in all kind of quiet into the close, and I was okay with that because, as I said, I pretty much dodged a bullet, at least with one account. I mean, I guess I dodged a bullet with all accounts because the ones that never traded stayed safe. They just kind of stayed even. And the one that I did trade, the first trade I wanted, the second trade was not executed properly, and I was able to at least get a 3-tick profit. At least I wasn't giving 3 ticks back. So all in all, it was kind of like I, I guess a lucky dodge the bullet day on a day that I'm not too sad that I didn't really get any more trades or anything else out of today. So hopefully that was helpful.